The law of detachment. The moment that you stop viewing circumstances as good or bad is the moment that you live in bliss and harmony. And it is the moment that you stop attracting negative circumstances into your life, not only because you don't view them as negative anymore, but because you have trained yourself, you have programmed yourself, you have taught yourself to live harmoniously, no matter what circumstances are presented to you. When you learn to detach from the outcome, when you learn to want nothing, when you remove yourself from the outcome, is when you start to attract everything that you could possibly want. If you're chasing, you're gonna keep chasing. Chasing never leads to receiving. Aligning and becoming leads to receiving. Being, detaching, letting go of the expectation. When you let go of the expectation, you magnetize your energy, you magnetize your energetic field, you solidify the magnetism within you, and your desires attract to you almost instantly once you become magnetic. Do you want to learn more about becoming magnetic? Check out this video. If you're chasing, that's it. You're chasing. You're not going to manifest anything. If you can instead separate yourself from the outcome, whatever it is, no matter how hard it might be. And I'm not trying to minimize anything that you are going through. Your feelings are valid, but you don't need me to tell you that. You need to tell yourself that. If you can detach from the circumstances that are being presented to you, if you can remove yourself from the situation, mentally detach, and view it from an outsider's perspective. View it from either one of two ways. Either, how can I benefit from this? Or, why is this what my external circumstance is reflecting to me? You might not have the answer right away. If you don't have the answer right away, meditate. Yeah, that's always the answer on this channel, for a good reason. Meditate and it'll come to you. But just doing this, removing yourself from the situation, mentally detaching to view your situation from another perspective, it already shifts your reality. It shifts everything. It shifts your point of view. Because instead of constantly victimizing yourself and being the victim of your circumstance, you change your perspective. You don't even have to fully change your perspective. You don't need to do a complete 180. In fact, you can't do a complete 180 right away and it be completely authentic without you suppressing your emotion. And if you're suppressing your emotion, it's not authentic. Therefore, you cannot completely do a complete 180 with your reality and it be authentic without intense shadow work. So, even just presenting the idea of changing your perspective, it shifts your reality. You're being guided in a new direction that you wouldn't have been guided otherwise, because you were stuck in this cycle of victimizing yourself and constantly chasing drama, constantly seeking pain and suffering. Because if people see that you are suffering, if people see that you are in pain, then they will give you attention, which validates you. You're chasing validation. Sorry to call you out. I know you don't want to hear that. That's like awkward, but presenting the idea of detachment, asking yourself the question, how is this situation serving me? Why did I attract this situation? Without judgment. Don't judge yourself for attracting anything. We're literally human. You're fine. You're good. You're safe. You're here. Mentally checking in and realigning. But asking yourself these questions, it shifts your reality because it allows you to change your perspective. It gives you the option to choose to change paths, because the path that you were going on was staying stuck in the cycle of affirming negative beliefs, victimizing yourself, chasing drama, chasing pain, chasing suffering, etc., etc., etc. But by asking yourself the question, how is this thing benefiting me? Why am I attracting this thing? Anything, any question along these lines, you provide a new perspective. And by providing yourself with a new perspective, it opens up a new path. When you take this path, there are other routes you can take. There's so many different branches to this path. and you are no longer stuck in this cycle anymore. It is, however, possible to be taken on this path and go back to the cycle, but this path is always here for you. It is always available. By choosing this path, you open up so many new opportunities because you're breaking a cycle. You're breaking the current cycle that you're stuck in, the cycle being victimizing yourself. You do not need to be a victim in your own life. Life does not happen to you. Life happens for you. And we all have the power to choose to live our lives however we wish to live it. Because we all have brains. And our brains are really cool. Even though they're really frustrating and annoying sometimes. Sometimes they are, yeah. Sometimes the ego pops up and it's literally screaming at you. All of these negative limiting beliefs that you have been holding on to for years and years and years and years and years. Yeah. It happens. It happens to me too. Yeah, I am not perfect. I am a human being. Or at least I'm here to have a human experience. So what am I being given? A human experience. Don't ever judge yourself for having negative limiting beliefs. They're going to come up. But we have brains, and brains are pretty freaking cool because they're like sponges. Whatever beliefs you put into them, they soak up and they marinate. So affirm to yourself again and again and again and again and again whatever it is that you want to believe, because your beliefs create your reality. So whatever you choose to believe will be reflected onto you. You don't need to be a victim to your circumstance if you create your reality. Take ownership of the fact that you create your own reality. Empower yourself. You literally create your own reality, so have fun with it. Dream big. Treat this life like a science experiment. It's like one of my favorite quotes. I don't know. I just started saying it and I love it. It's really motivating, actually, the phrase treat your life like a science experiment, because like in science, there's no right or wrong. There's just a hypothesis and then you find out. Live your life like that. If you take control of your brain, if you take accountability of the fact that you can control your brain, you can wring out that sponge. AKA, you can release the negative limiting beliefs that no longer serve you. If you choose to no longer engage with them. The more that you engage with these negative limiting beliefs, of course, the more your brain sponge is going to soak them up. It's like instead of pouring dish soap on the sponge, I don't know what this analogy is, but I guess it's working. Instead of pouring dish soap, the positive beliefs and affirmations onto the sponge, you're pouring gasoline onto the sponge. Do you really want to clean your dishes with a gasoline-soaked sponge? No. Obviously, whatever you interact with more, the gasoline or the soap, the negative thoughts or the positive thoughts, the more your reality is going to change, because your brain soaks up your beliefs and your beliefs reflect your life. Who you controls your reality. It controls your circumstances. You no longer become a victim of your circumstance. You can only become a victim of your circumstance if you hold the belief, I am a victim. Everything happens to me. Why me? Poor me. Life is hard to me. No. Remove yourself from the situation. Instead, view it as life is happening and you are a witness of this life that is happening. You can choose to respond however you wish to respond, and your response dictates the next situation to then occur. If you're in a heated argument with somebody and they say something to you that really hurts your feelings, you can choose either to respond or react. And how you choose to respond or react will dictate the next circumstance that will happen. If you react in a heated, blown up way, if you start projecting, if you blow up, if you start cursing them out and screaming at them and you say, well, nobody loves you anyway, or how could you say something like that when you blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Just coming up with things on the top of my head, I literally don't know. Of course, the other person's response then is going to be heated and blown up as well, because they are going to match your proportional outbreak. Versus if instead you respond to them like, that really hurt my feelings, I am going to take a break from this conversation, and you tend to your mind, this person isn't going to blow up on you. And if they do blow up on you, it's up to you to choose to absorb their words or not. But you can choose to not engage with the negativity. And if you choose not to engage in the negativity, you will not attract more negativity. Versus if you had chosen to react in the heated, blown up way, you're screaming at that person, you're offended, you're cursing them out. This person does the exact same thing, which then causes another reaction, so you do the same thing, and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and lots of negativity and anger. Nothing gets solved, nothing gets done. You're just marinating in negativity because that's how you choose to respond or react. I just wanted to tell you, you're not a victim of your circumstance, so stop acting like it. Get out of your own head and empower yourself. Live your life, man.